Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Welcome to the show, y'all. Look here. I wanted to ask y'all about P. Diddy. I wanted to ask y'all, what do you think about it? The verdict. What do you think about the charges? Do you think this thing played out the way it should have, or what? You know, the reason I want to ask you this is because I had a very, very interesting conversation with my brother. You know, my brother's older than me, smarter than me, you know, and all of this and that, right? But, you know, I just totally disagreed with him on his stance on this. And let me explain to you why, right? I listened to him as he talked. You know, my brother, he's one of those, he's going to be heard. He's going to be heard one way or the other. That's just that on that. So you may as well just let him get it out and say what he had to say. But let me lay the foundation to give you some context with my brother, you know. My brother, I love him. But he'll get to talking about the Illuminati and, you know, these conspiracy theories and stuff. And I don't really just buy deep into that. But let's just assume for the sake of this conversation, right, that all of that stuff's true. Okay? And, you know, on the one hand, you know, I'll be talking to my brother sometime, man. I love my brother, right? And he'll get to talking about, you know, how a lot of these celebrities are part of the Illuminati and all this and that, and how they, you know, they're drinking their blood and sacrificing family members and doing all this old nonsense to be a part of this worldwide, secret, powerful organization, right? Now listen to me. I need y'all to follow me here, okay? Because I'm gonna wrap this up in a nice bow so you can understand. And then I need to hear from y'all. I need y'all to explain to me something because I'm a little lost on this one. So he makes these accusations, these claims about these individuals, and then, okay, boom, Diddy gets busted. They charge him with racketeering, sex trafficking, the Mann Act, you know, that means transporting people over state lines, all these different types of things, right? You know, running a criminal enterprise, right? RICO, right? And when we were talking about the RICO statute, you know, my brother, he's repeating what I heard him say on TV, right? That was meant for gangsters and this, and that, and Diddy wasn't no gangster. He wasn't running no criminal enterprise, this, and that. Let me explain something to y'all, right? You can run a criminal enterprise from a legal business, right? Period. You can start out legal and start to switch up and start doing things illegal under the guise of your business. And once you do that, that's RICO. Period, point blank. So even if he started bad boy off good and legal, and he's doing all of these different types of things, it could have switched up what he was doing. That don't mean he's going to tell everybody we're a criminal organization. But don't get me wrong. They found him not guilty for that. Okay. Good for Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? Good for Diddy. They found him not guilty for the sex trafficking. Good for Diddy. And I think the other one was racketeering, right? Good for Diddy. But them two Mann Act charges, right? They found him guilty for that. That means transporting somebody across state lines for, it was Miss Cassie and the other girl, the Miss Jane Doe, transporting them over state lines for sex. Everybody looking at that like that was a small thing. He got found guilty of this, right? Now, my brother saying he gonna walk out. I said, well, that's within the sentencing guidelines. You understand? The judge can do that. The judge can say time served, he's gone. Or the judge can give him up to 10 years on each one. But it's unlikely that he'll get that. You want to know why? Because Diddy has never been convicted of anything. So he has a clean record. So he's eligible for a smaller sentence in reality. But dealing with the Mann Act and under the circumstances, the judge can totally disregard for extenuating circumstances the sentencing guidelines. He can do that. That's the law in that situation. Now here's the thing. My thing is this. Diddy did what he did. When are we gonna get to a point, and this is what I was trying to make my brother understand, help my brother understand. I can't make my brother understand nothing. My brother's a grown, intelligent individual. But this is the point I was trying to make to him. Whether Diddy got found guilty of something or not, right? Whether he got found guilty of something or not, my assessment of his morality is not attached to a guilty verdict or a not guilty verdict. No. I'm more concerned about how he treated those sisters. Period. I don't want to hear nothing about, well, the system is rigged against them and this. Oh, that's true. I stipulate that to you. But let me get back to this Illuminati part. How can he be part of this secret, powerful organization that lets them do anything they want to do? And then all of a sudden, this organization he's supposed to be a part of, according to my brother and some other people out there all over the internet, this organization he's supposed to be a part of, all of a sudden said, no, we're going to let the police get you. Where is this secret, powerful organization at to protect him from all of this other kind of stuff? Where were they at? I know some people will say, well, that's why he got off. The judge let him out. No, that was a jury. So what you're saying is these people on this jury, they part of the Illuminati too. And if they are part of the Illuminati, why didn't they just find him not guilty for everything? You can't have it both ways. You part of this secret organization that lets you run rapid and do whatever you want to do to people in the world. But then when they find you guilty of something, you try to say that the system is rigged towards rich, powerful black men and all this and that. What I want to say to you is simple as this. If I had a chance to talk to Diddy, what I would say to Diddy is, did you do it, bro? Did you do it? I'm talking about nobody there, no cameras, no phones, no nothing, just heart to heart. And it had one of them situations where he can't lie. That he can't lie. He has to say what he did. And then if he told me he did it, then that's when I would say, you got to be held accountable. You got to be held accountable. But see, a lot of people probably get it confused, especially coming from somebody like me that's sitting in the penitentiary and been in here almost 40 years, that I would want anybody to go through this. I don't. Don't get it twisted. I'm not advocating this. The system has a lot of flaws. What I'm asking is, how do we, as a community, and I ain't talking about black, white, purple, or blue, I'm just talking about the human race, how do we hold one another accountable outside of a legal system that we know is unfair? How do we do that? Because that's what I'm talking about. We have to find a way to do that. And we have to do it in a way to where the victims of what he did are made whole, or as whole as we can make them, and that he has the opportunity to correct his behavior and grow forward from it and learn. That's what we do. See, we get caught up in this, letting the justice system define our morality and how we respond to stuff. Did you see those people dancing outside the courtroom, splashing baby oil all over each other because he got found not guilty for the most serious charge? That's shameful. That's shameful. It made me wonder, how was Cassie feeling and the other girl, the Jane Doe, to testify? Wait a minute. That's why you got a lot of people that won't come forward. And then I know some of y'all gonna say, and I need to hear from y'all too. I know some of y'all gonna say, wait a minute, Joe T. They could have been lying. They could have been. They could have been. I understand that. But I don't believe they were lying. I don't believe they were lying. This is why I say I don't believe they were lying. Diddy got videotapes. They showed these tapes to the people. And what they said is the reason that they didn't find him guilty for the other stuff, mainly the RICO, was because it appeared from the videotapes and from the text messages that they were consenting to do this. Now, come on now. I'm going to break it down for y'all. Now, y'all, and I know y'all know what I'm finna say, and I know y'all already know the answer to it. How many of y'all have had a woman in your life, or a significant other in your life, whatever you're into, that you were able to get to do something because you were upset with them and they wanted to please you, to get you to do something, you could get them to do something that you know they didn't want to do because you might have beat them, because you're an abuser, and you done conditioned them to just say, yes, daddy, yes, baby, ooh, I loved it, baby. And then you communicate with them to get them to say these things on a text message. It's part of the game. Listen to me, don't underestimate the mind of somebody that's deep into criminality. It would not surprise me at all if he had her sit there and send those text messages back and forth saying that she liked it and saying that she wanted it, because he knew one day, if it ever comes out, he needed proof that she was consenting and she was with it. Now, I know that didn't get admitted into the testimony. That's just me stretching it. Okay? Because I know people that are that manipulative. I know some in here. I remember sitting at the table watching this stuff on TV, and some of them were sitting there saying it. Oh, that's what you do, did it? That's how you get them. Make them send a text so that they liked it. That way, when they bust you, you could say they were consenting. It's all kind of things that could have went on. But at the end of the day, to believe that in every one of those instances, when the person that was victimized by him saying that I did not want to do this, I did not like it, and then they cherry pick and find the evidence, and don't get me wrong, they are entitled to fight for him in the defense. That's why I say we need a way outside of the justice system to hold our brothers and sisters accountable for their behavior. When you get out there and you're doing all these immoral things, right? Forget the law. We can't keep our mouths shut. All of y'all people out there that knew, all of y'all escorts that were taking this money to go over there and do that and assault and rape this girl and piss in her mouth and all this old kind of stuff, shame on you. Shame on you. You wasn't saying nothing in her defense, but you participated in that. And I'm sure you would say, well, she wanted it. Really? Would your daughter want it? Your wife want it? Your girlfriend want it? Your niece want it? How about your mama or your grandma? What do you think about that? I don't think you really... But see, when you get in a position of power like Diddy, when you get in a position of power like Diddy, and you start to think about all the things that you can do and want to do and all this and that, and how much money you got, you can get people to do anything. My question to Diddy would be, how come you just didn't pay somebody to role play? To let you do all of these types of things so you could sit there and watch and do your freaking den. I'll tell you why you didn't. Because it's about power. It's about power, y'all. Rape is about power and domination over another person. It's not about the sex. At all. But I'm not telling y'all anything that you don't know. But on this issue, I want to hear from y'all. I want you to tell me what you think. Help me grow from this. Help me grow from this. How do we go from a people, right, that respect each other to a people that dance and rejoice at the fact that a man brutalized another woman because a jury said that they didn't believe all the evidence? How do we get there? How do you reconcile that with that video where he beat and kicked this girl because she was trying to leave? Why didn't he just let her go? Well, his defense said he's a bad guy. So why and where were the black men that run with him in his entourage? Where were they at holding them accountable? Oh, wait a minute, hold up. He probably paying them, right? So you're not going to correct him. You're going to justify it by saying, I'm just getting my check, right? But you wouldn't want nobody to do that to yours. Again, don't get me wrong, y'all. Don't get me wrong. Look, the prison system is whack. It's whack. Real talk. It's real talk, man. But something has to be done. And if we don't find a way outside of the legal system to correct that moral compass that we say we live by, and stop cherry picking and saying, okay, if you got money, you can do this. If you can afford the lawyers that'll get in there and fight for you, it's okay. If we don't stop allowing that, then one day it's going to be your daughter or your son. Somebody going to be going up in there, pissing on them. Yeah, I'm a little graphic. I get it. I'm sorry. But you got to understand this. I'm just trying to get some understanding, y'all. I'm just trying to get some... I am not rooting for another person to be thrown in the penitentiary because it's whack. I'm not saying that that our legal system is perfect. What I'm saying is we abdicate our responsibility to the courts when we don't hold ourselves and our people in our communities accountable for their actions. That's what we do. So don't get mad when they find evidence that wants them to indict and charge somebody for it. And don't get the hooping and hollering talking about they trying to take down a powerful black man. Well, what about them saying we're trying to protect a black woman? What about that? What about that narrative? Why are we not saying that? Oh, wait a minute, that's not the popular thing to say. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we really don't like our women like we say. Maybe we think that they should be treated like that. Not ours, but somebody else's, you see. Maybe that's what we really think. See, you act out what you think. Yeah, that's how you do. We all are like that. And that's all I'm trying to do is get some understanding. So until we get to that point that we start to hold each other accountable for the things that we're doing and the things that our men doing, I don't care whether you black, white, Latina, Asian, whatever. I don't care what race you are. I don't. But until we start to hold men accountable for what they're doing, this is not going to be the last time we're sitting around watching something on TV when somebody gets charged for this. Nobody, no matter what your financial status is, rich or poor, nothing should have the right to treat a woman like that. And just the same for a woman. A woman shouldn't have the right to treat a man the same the way that Diddy treated her. No. Yeah, we do need courts that are going to be vigorous in protecting the rights of people, innocent until proven guilty. But again, him walking out of that courtroom is not a vindication of his behavior, y'all. It's a vindication of the law, not of his behavior. So don't get it twisted. This brother needs a lot of help. He needs a lot of help, and I hope that he gets it. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.